From our studios in Kokomo, Indiana, this is the Jacob Pyle Show, starring Jacob Pyle, featuring Taryn Ray Smith, and tonight's guest, Rick Chandler. Ladies and gentlemen, Jacob Pyle.
Thank you, Butch McCain. Been away, haven't seen you in a while. How have you been? Have you changed your style? And do you think that we've grown up differently? Don't seem the same. Seems you've lost your feel for me. So let's leave it alone, 'cause we can't see eye to eye. There ain't no good guy, there ain't no bad guy. There's only you and me, and we just disagree. Oh, whoa, whoa. I'm going back to a place that's far away. How about you? Have you got a place to stay? Why should I care when I'm just trying to get along? We were friends, but now it's the end of our love song. So let's leave it alone, 'cause we can't see eye to eye. There ain't no good guy, there ain't no bad guy. There's only you and me, and we just disagree. Ooh, whoa, whoa. So let's leave it alone, 'cause we can't see eye to eye. There ain't no good guy, there ain't no bad guy. There's only you and me, and we just disagree. Ooh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Jacob Pyle Show for this Saturday night, Sunday morning, January 24th, 2026. My name is Jacob Pyle, and I'm glad to have you with us. Rick Chandler is going to be my guest for tonight, and he'll be on shortly.
Excuse me, Jacob.
Here's my co-host, Taryn Ray Smith. Hey, Taryn, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing fine, just trying to stay warm in this freezing cold we've been having.
That's good. Listen, I have a song request for you.
You do? Yeah, I'll be happy to do your song request. What song are you gonna? What song do you want me to sing?
Will you sing "The Longest Time" by Billy Joel? I love that song.
Taryn, you remember the last time you did it? You sang almost the entire song.
Yeah, I remember. I promise you, I am not going to sing a note. Do you still want me to snap my fingers along to the song?
If you feel like it, sure.
I can do that for you.
Here we go with Billy Joel's "The Longest Time." Whoa, for the longest time. Whoa, for the longest have you said goodbye to me tonight. There would still be music left to write. What else could I do? I'm so inspired by you. That hasn't happened for the longest time. Once I thought my innocence was gone. Now I know that happiness goes on. That's where you found me, when you put your arms around me. I haven't been there for the longest time. Whoa, for the longest time. Whoa, for the longest time. That voice you're hearing in the hall, and the greatest miracle of all is how I need you, and how you needed me too. That hasn't happened for the longest time. Maybe this won't last very long, but you feel so right, and I could be wrong. Maybe I've been hoping too hard, but I've gone this far, and it's more than I hoped for. Who knows how much further we'll go on? Maybe I'll be sorry when you're gone. I'll take my chances. I forgot how nice romance is. I haven't been there for the longest time. I had second thoughts at the start. I said to myself, hold on to your heart. Now I know the woman that you are. You're wonderful so far, and it's more than I hoped for. I don't care what consequence it brings. I have been a fool for lesser things. I want you so bad. I think you ought to know that. I intend to hold you for the longest time. Whoa, for the longest time. Whoa, for the longest time.
That was amazing, Jacob.
Thank you. Hey, I wanted to ask you something, Taryn. Can you explain to the viewers about, in recent songs, you kind of notice Taryn wears a set of headphones when she sings. Can you explain why you have to have headphones on camera? I think I know of it, but for the sake of our viewers.
So first of all, let me start off by saying that while both Jacob and Zach Brown, who alternate weeks with me as co-hosts, live in Indiana, I do not. I wish I did, though. And because of Jacob's busy schedule and technical difficulties concerning this, we can't record our stuff via online chats either. So a lot of the stuff I have to pretty much pre-record on my own time. So going back to the headphones, when Jacob and I sing songs together, I have to be able to hear the music and hear Jacob's voice without it interfering with the recording. So that's why I have to wear those on camera when we're doing songs. I hope that answers your question.
Now, can you show us the headphones you have?
That is a great question. I have them right here. They're not expensive. I wish I knew what. Oh, I do know. I have another box of them for when these break. And they haven't broken yet. I've had these for like a year and they have not broken, which honestly is a long time in headphone world. It shouldn't be, but sometimes it is. These are one audio. And these are another pair for when those stop working. And I got them on Amazon.
like I go through headphones like every single month.
Anyway, we have an amazing show for you today.
We sure do.
Our guest for tonight is Rick Chandler, and we'll have him on in a little bit. But first, it's time for this week's On This Date trivia question. On this date, January 24th, 1984, during the Super Bowl, this computer made its very first TV debut. What computer is it, you ask? That's the question. What is the name and the brand of computer? Put your thinking caps on, and I'll have the answer for you when the Jacob Pyle Show continues. Welcome back to the show. Let's return to this week's On This Date trivia question. On this date, January 24th, 1984, during the Super Bowl, this computer made its very first TV debut. What is the name and the brand of the computer? The answer, the Apple Macintosh. And here, once again, is a guy who knows more about older computers than I do, my co-host, Jacob Pyle.
Thank you, Taryn Ray, and welcome back to our show. Now, normally on our show, we talk about all things Kokomo and Howard County, and we try to feature guests that are from Kokomo and Howard County. However, tonight we are switching gears a little bit, and we're going to talk about a small farming community just south of Kokomo, Tipton. And we're going to delve into not just the city of Tipton, but Tipton County in general. And my guest for tonight is a Tipton resident. He played a very important role in getting an animal shelter in the city of Tipton. He was a candidate for Tipton mayor a few years back, among other things. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my guest for tonight, Tipton, Indiana's very own Rick Chandler.
Jacob, thank you for having me today.
You're welcome. How are the roads getting here?
Well, they're okay so far. From what I've seen in Tipton, I want to give a shout out to our Tipton Street Department and the employees there at the Tipton County Street Department. They've done a great job treating the roads, and I came into Howard County. I saw much the same. So nothing yet. The worst is yet to come. So
yeah, I think a lot. Now, before we delve into tonight's conversation, I think a lot of people know about this with the fact that the snowstorm is probably about here by now as you guys are watching this live. Obviously, the reason why Rick made it here without any problems because this was obviously taped earlier in the day. So I want to delve into a fun fact about myself that many Jacob Pyle Show viewers don't know about. Maybe even the viewers that are watching this tonight might find this a bit surprising. A question I get asked all the time since I've been living here in Kokomo is, are you originally from Kokomo? And my answer, believe it or not, is no. I actually grew up in Tipton County. I didn't grow up in Tipton, unfortunately. There's a small town about 20 minutes going southeast in Howard County, almost to Tipton. It's about like a halfway point between Kokomo and Tipton, Sharpsville, Indiana. A lot of people have never heard of the town, and for those who have never heard of Sharpsville, Indiana, you're not missing much. It's a good-sized town for what it is. I'm proud to have grow up there for all these many years, but it's mostly a Dollar General, a convenience store, 4 churches, a post office, Team Glass, which is a locally independently ran youth ministry, a park, a gym, and of course you've got Tri-Central Schools there on the outskirts of town. Lived in Sharpsville my growing up years. My parents and I moved there around 1997, and I lived there for about 17 years. And my dad and I did not actually move to Tipton until about 12 years ago, and then I moved to Kokomo about 9 years ago. And except for a 2-year stretch of me living in Noblesville, I pretty much lived in Kokomo for most of my adult life. What about you? You're not originally from Tipton County either, are you?
no, I get that question sometimes, and a lot of people mistake me for a local that have been there, born and raised, and I'm very proud of that because I love Tipton. My wife's originally from Tipton, going back 5 generations. I grew up in a small community called Cowan, Indiana, that would make Sharpsville look like the big city. It was small. My grandparents ran the convenience store there. Just had a great time growing up, learning a lot of small town values, learning a lot about loving thy neighbor and taking care of those close to you. Just was a great place to grow up, and I see a lot of that in Tipton and in Tipton County, on a little bit of a larger scale, obviously, but still very much that small town, you can leave your door unlocked at night type of feel. So yeah, I'm a transplant, proud to be a Tipton resident since 1997, and certainly home now.
Good. My is about the size. My grandpa actually. It's funny because my grandpa actually is. There's also a small town called Nevada, Indiana, in Tipton County, and it's really much not talked about much because most of the places there have a Sharpsville address. But my grandpa actually lived out. It's about the size of Nevada. Just about.
That's probably pretty close. I mean, it was one of those towns as a child, if you did something wrong, you were in trouble before you ever got home because everybody knew who you were and what you did. Fortunately, I didn't cause a whole lot of problems, but it just was very much a very small neighborhood community where you knew everybody by name.
Well, that's good. That's good. So tonight we are going to talk about some of our. We're going to hit the hardest areas of Tipton that concerns you. You've done a lot for the city of Tipton. I want to but we're going to kind of start off big and then just kind of build our way from there, I guess you could say. So I want to talk about, I think the biggest event of the year in the city of Tipton would hands down be the Pork Festival. What do you like best about the Pork Festival?
I love the Pork Festival because it brings a lot of individuals to our community. It's time for Tipton, the city of Tipton, the surrounding communities. It really gives us an opportunity to shine, to showcase what we're all about and what makes us special maybe compared to other communities. It's a great opportunity, too, for our local non-for-profits to be able to raise some capital by doing parking and other things like that to try to help keep their operations going and funded. And a lot of people don't know this. This was my first year doing this, and I kind of kept it secret till the festival was over, but I was proud to serve as Pork Boy this year, the official mascot for the Tipton County Pork Festival, and just had a real blast going around, meeting, and not so much talking, because Pork Boy doesn't talk, but just getting to interact, hug, high five people visiting our city and being kind of the ambassador for the city of Tipton for that weekend. It was really a blast, Jacob.
Well, good. I'm glad you got to be. I'm glad you got to shine for the city of Tipton. What are your favorite parts of the Pork Festival? Obviously, other than the pork, because that's what the Pork Festival is all about, mostly.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, the food is obviously very, very good. It's also a good chance for a lot of people to just showcase what they're doing, whether it be the non-for-profit, whether it be, some of the various acts that get to come in and perform. I know in the past, there's been art displayed, other things like that, but I'm very much a people person. So I just love all the people, and I love that it's an opportunity for our community to just really showcase what it does, to be able to put its shine on for a weekend and really tell people what Tipton's all about. So that's what I love. I just love the opportunity to showcase our community, and the food's not bad either, obviously.
Oh, of course. I think elephant ears is what my favorite. My favorite thing of the whole thing is that there's like elephant ears. I'm not, but yeah, I mean I would say like every facet of, I go there, like I make the trip from here to Tipton every year just for the Pork Festival, and I think it's a wonderful thing for the community. A lot of people go to it every year, even outsiders, and I think that speaks a lot for the city of Tipton to be able to do that. And
there's a lot of work that goes into that festival. The committee works very, very hard. In fact, I think they've already had, or will be having shortly, their first meeting of the year. So literally, this is a year-round project for them. Once the holidays are over, they're already in gear and thinking about the 2026 festival to try to make it the best it can be. So my hat's off to that entire leadership team. They work so hard to bring the quality festival to the city of Tipton.
Yes, they certainly do, and it shows. It really does show. So we still have about 2 minutes left. We're going to try to touch on this a little bit too. The second to next thing, and no offense to the Howard County 4-H Fair, I think they do a great job, but I want to talk about the Tipton County 4-H Fair too. Because there's a lot of kids from Tri-Central and Tipton that take part in the 4-H Fair every year. What are your thoughts on it?
You're exactly right, and a lot of people hear 4-H Fair and they automatically just think about animals, which obviously animals and the activities with animals do play a prominent role in the 4-H Fair, but it's also an opportunity for the young folks involved with 4-H to showcase some of their talents, whether it be artistry, whether it be performing at the talent show. It really gives a lot of opportunities for our kids, from the smallest of kids all the way up to high school students, just an opportunity to shine and really show what they can do. And it's a good old-fashioned county fair that you think about. Of course, you always have the food there, which is good also. It's another opportunity for not-for-profits to come in and earn some money to help with their cause. But it's a good chance for really just the kids to get in there and to really let their talents shine. And, we have a bright future, a lot of very gifted and talented children in Tipton County. And again, it's something that doesn't come together easily. And I know our 4-H Fair Board and all those involved work very, very hard to put up a quality fair every year.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I think all the local vendor, and a lot of the vendors are local vendors. So I think that's what makes it even more amazing. All right. We have to take a break. We have to pause for this break. When we continue more with Rick Chandler, and I have a very important question I want to ask you as well. We'll be back after this.
If you'd like to be a guest on the Jacob Pyle Show, send Jacob an email. His email address is jtpyle1@aol.com. That's also where to email if you'd like a DVD copy of the show. Please just mention the air date seen on screen when ordering. The DVD is $10, and residents outside of Indiana will pay an additional $5 shipping and handling. Once again, here's Jacob.
Thank you, Taryn Ray Smith, and welcome back to our program. My guest, if you're just now joining us, is Rick Chandler, resident of Tipton, Indiana for all those many years. And yes, that is not a typo. We are talking about Tipton today instead of Kokomo. So I have a very important question I wanted to ask you. So I mentioned in the introduction that you did run for mayor for a few years. Is it something that you're going to consider, like reconsider later on down the road or something?
Jacob, I get asked that question a lot, especially as we head toward next year in the mayoral election. The honest answer is I don't quite know yet. I enjoyed my 5 years I served on the city council, my 4 years as president of the city council. We got a lot of positive things done, like working to get the animal shelter open. I worked hard to provide, with the help of my other council folks, of course, a Bill of Rights for renters in the city of Tipton so that they would have recourse if they had poor renting conditions. We revamped the housing ordinance. We just did a lot of different things to try to help our citizens, and I enjoyed that time greatly. I'm just pausing and thinking, to be quite honest with you right now, and just kind of weighing what the future might look like. And I promise you and everybody who's watching, by summer, you'll definitely know my intentions on whether I plan to throw my hat in the ring again or not.
So just kind of keep us posted, and we'll be more than happy to share the news once you announce whether or not. We are going to talk about now some of the other parts of Tipton, and I did want to talk about the tree that they built on.
Sure.
This is first year, right?
It is. It was the first year for the Christmas tree downtown.
Yeah, because every year, it's funny because I used to go to the lighting of the Christmas tree in Indianapolis, and now that you guys are having this Christmas tree downtown, what are your thoughts on that? I think that's pretty cool.
Sure. The thoughts, Jacob, are kind of a mixed bag for me, honestly. As far as having the event itself, I'm for anything that brings people together as a community and a chance to have a good time and celebrate the holidays. My only concern with that tree, honestly, was the price tag associated. I mean, granted, the pros of that, with the tree, the ornaments, the hardware and stuff running a little bit north of $45,000, it is reusable. It is something that can be used again and again, year after year, and does look beautiful. My only pullback on it is when you look around our community and you see areas like the west side of town, several streets that have no sidewalks and things of that nature. It just makes me pause to really think of how that money was spent and if it could have been spent better. Now, I will say this. Being mayor is obviously a very difficult job. I considered it and was in the running for it. And, I have a lot of respect for anyone that does that, including our current mayor. And those decisions are all tough. And I don't want to come off like I'm belittling that decision. They're all difficult to make. That's just personally how I feel about it. But on the positive side, I'll support anything that brings our citizens together and just allows for them to have a very, very good time. It's important to have that feel of community, and anytime we can get people together, I'm always good with that. So.
Good, I'm glad to hear that. You mentioning sidewalks, Tipton, I think Tipton's pretty much a walkable town. Like when I lived in Tipton, I still didn't have the car. I literally had to walk from my dad's house, which is on the corner. My dad lives near the edge of town on North Independence, the 800 block of North Independence, and I would walk from there to McDonald's every day and back for work. And I've actually walked further. Like I've walked as far as from there to Taco Bell. I walked from there to the 4-H building. I think, isn't that cool though that even if you don't have a car that you can still walk or bike or anything like that around. have a town that's within walking, where you can walk pretty much everywhere in the city of Tipton.
And overall, I would agree with that. We do have a very walkable community as a whole. Like I stated earlier, we do have some areas that we need to shore up as far as getting sidewalks and some basic infrastructure to those citizens, because quite honestly, they deserve that infrastructure. But when you talk about the walkability, I also think about the safety of our community. We live in a great community that is safe enough to walk from one end of town to the other. I have no qualms. I walk through our community late at night as well as very early in the morning when it's dark. I feel perfectly safe. I think that speaks a lot to our citizens. And I want to give our police department some credit. The City of Tipton Police Department, Tipton County Sheriff's Department, they work very hard policing to make sure that we do have a community we can feel safe in. So not only do we have overall a very, very walkable community, but we have a community where you can feel very safe walking to and from.
Right. I think that's, I just want to say too, that's pretty cool. So we still have about 4.5 minutes left. We have some extra time. So I want to talk with you and the viewers. This is the only non-related, Tipton-related question I'm going to ask. Your thoughts on the Chick-fil-A that's opening in Kokomo, because prior to that, people always ask, why don't you go check out Chick-fil-A? And it's like, are you crazy driving? Because the nearest one's like in Lafayette or Carmel. I ain't driving that traffic. And now that's officially happening, there's a Chick-fil-A. There's going to be a lot of people, not just from our county, but your Tipton County as well, that's going to be visiting. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I would be happier if that Chick-fil-A was being built in Tipton County as part of the infrastructure improvements coming to 31 and 28, because it would be just a little closer for me. But I'll certainly be frequenting it once it opens up. I'm a big chicken guy. For those that don't know, I don't know if you know this, Jacob, or not, over the last couple of years, I have lost a lot of weight. And one thing I've done is scale really back, eating a lot of lean meats, including chicken. Now, granted, breaded chicken probably isn't the healthiest chicken to eat, but I do tend to go that way over a burger or something like that. And Chick-fil-A does have a very good menu, lots of choices from their tenders all the way down to their sandwiches. Now, they are, as you probably know, stepping into a very crowded marketplace. There's a lot of chicken competition, say that 5 times fast, in the city of Kokomo when you think about the fact that there's a Popeyes there, Raising Cane's is just open, there's still a KFC, plus you're competing with Arby's, Wendy's, a lot of the other restaurants that also do serve chicken sandwiches and chicken tenders. So I think they'll have the work cut out for them, but the reputation is garnered is good enough that I think they'll more than hold their own. I'm always surprised, Jacob, by the number of restaurants that open in the city of Kokomo, and I keep thinking, how can the city sustain and be able to keep these places open? And they do. So I look for it to be pretty busy, quite honestly.
Oh yeah, I bet you. There's I'm gonna. Well, I was thinking of doing the first day Chick-fil-A is gonna open. I'm gonna be crazy if we're doing this. I'm gonna stay up all night the night before. It doesn't even have to be the first day. I'll just go up there on early in the morning, stay up all night the night before, go up there early in the morning, and then go get breakfast. And that's, I'll probably beat the crowds that way. That's for sure. But do you have anything else you want to add about Tipton or anything else?
Sure. Nobody loves Tipton County more than I do, because it's been a great home for me. It's been a great home for my wife, Carrie, and I to raise our children. People in the community have been great. I do want to give one particular shout out, and you may not even realize this, Jacob. My wife and I operate a food pantry in Tipton, where we live at. It's just a very small, similar to a small shed. It's a self-serve, 24-hour, 365-day-a-week type pantry. We keep canned goods, non-perishable food items. We keep cleaning supplies and hygiene items in there. And during the time back in the fall when SNAP benefits were very much in jeopardy, that pantry has always hit hard, but it got hit really, really hard. And our community was great. So many people stepped up to donate food and monetary donation, not just to us, but to the other pantries. So when I think about Tipton, that's just a small microcosm of what I think of when I think about Tipton. Truly a community where we love our neighbor and we take care of each other. So the podcast would be incomplete, honestly, without me mentioning that and just the generosity of our citizens. We couldn't do the things we do without them.
Absolutely. Well, listen, it was a wonderful conversation, and I appreciate the fact that you were able to drive from Tipton to here to come tape our show today, and it's been great.
Pleasure was all mine. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Turn back to you.
And that is our program for tonight. Our thanks to Rick Chandler for stopping by. Join us again next week, same bat time, same bat channel, when Jacob's co-host will be Zach Brown, and Jacob and Zach's guest will be from Miss Green's Jungle, Cassie Brown. Hope to see you then. Until then, for Rick Chandler, Jacob Pyle, and all of us on the Jacob Pyle Show, I'm Taryn Ray Smith. Thank you for watching, stay safe, and good night, everybody. Jacob, take it away.
Like the pine trees lining the winding road, I've got a name. I've got a name. Like the singing bird and the croaking toad, I've got a name. I've got a name. And I carry it with me like my daddy did, and I'm living the dream that he kept hid. Moving me down the highway, rolling me down the highway, moving ahead so life won't pass me by. I'm Jacob Pyle. Goodbye, everybody.
I'm Butch McCain. The opinions expressed on this pre-recorded program are solely those of the participants and does not necessarily reflect the views of this program or Pyle Media Ventures, Inc. Pyle Media Ventures, Inc. produces this program and is solely responsible for its content.